We did it. We did it. Guys, Americans, finally, the drought is over. The drought is over. Moto 3, guys. It wasn't like a 1-1. It wasn't like an epic, performance like, RJ, Bailey, O'Mara, where we dominated, but this thing was in jeopardy. I mean, well, it wasn't really in jeopardy the last Moto, but like, God, I'm sorry, I'm late. It's been 11 years. It's been something where it's been hard as an American fan to just get our asses kicked. And we're talking about that we ride too much Supercross and our guys in the outdoors and we'll never do it again. I may have even said at one point I wasn't sure if we'd win this race again in my lifetime. But it worked out. It worked out. It's funny how we overreact to victories, and we overreact to failures. It's just how it is. But this is a crazy race with lots that can happen. It's insane that we won as many years in a row as we did with the way this thing can play out. But that drought is over. And this is good for the sport. For anyone in Europe or anywhere else that doesn't understand that this is good for the sport, maybe take another look at it. When the United States is this whole market, we pay more attention to this race. We care more about this race when we're competitive. We weren't even competitive the last few years. This one really stepped up. And what a way for Eli Tomac. Can I just say hats off? Eli Tomac has had a dream year. Supercross, outdoor, Des Nations, and he gets to do it with the guy who literally, Chase Sexton, who took him to the brink in outdoor motocross this year. I couldn't ask for, this season has been literally the dream season of motocross and should be something that elevated the sport. It's too bad MX Sports blew it with their stupid coverage, but hopefully that's fixed next year. And champions, we're on top again. We are on top again. Woo! Damn. So I do want to bring up one little thing. If you guys notice on the podium, check on the podium when they do the pictures. All the guys are celebrating, smiling, they're happy. And I'm not going to lie, Roger DeCoster looks like such a sourpuss up there. He almost looks mad. And I don't know if that's fair to call him out on that because he's like 150 years old. But I'm just ready for a new manager. Like, he's done it. I don't want to disrespect him, but at some point, everybody needs to step aside for the younger generation. So it's time for Roger DeCoster to step aside, even though they won. I get it. But I also think a lot of the reason they won is, did you see the guys down there really working the numbers and strategies? It was Paul Parabinos and that crew. Paul Parabinos is one of the most competitive people I've ever been around. Whatever he's involved with, he's going to try and do his very best and be good at it. And I'm sure him being around helps. And he's been a racer. He's a pretty badass racer. Paul Parabinos can ride a bike. He understands what it takes. He's a patriot. He's an American. He's not from Belgium. And honestly, that's my biggest thing with Roger DeCoster running the Des Nations. He deserves all the history, the accolades. Nobody will ever be able to match what he's done in the Des Nations, but it is time for him to step aside, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know. I want to give props to Bobby Reagan for having two guys on the winning team that has literally brought American motocross back to where it needs to be. Bobby Reagan put his money where his mouth is. He knows he can't die with all his money, and he is literally going all in, and he's made Yamaha great. He's made Yamaha great. I wouldn't say great again because I don't ever remember them being this good at everything. I'm sure they were back in like the Hannah Glover days, but that was before most of our generations. I remember hearing about it, but it wasn't really my generation. And it's a different sport now, and to do it in this sport right now, where it's at the level it's at, props to Star Racing, Bobby Reagan, Team USA, Greg. Hey, shout out Greg. What up? That's my buddy. Yeah, hell yes. Yeah, the 11-year drought. France came to win. They rode their asses off. They tried really hard. I mean, Dylan, and that's the one thing that I've complained. Yeah, doubting Cooper looks very stupid now, but I mean, logically going into it, he looks like the weak link, but he was the guy that got it done. And that's usually like if you can get a 250 rider who can get a fifth, a fourth in one of those motos and then leave your throwaway from that first moto or second moto, yeah, it really, really helps. This was, seeing the French team give everything they had. And now next year we go to France. What a storyline. We come in with the number one plate next year in France, although I wish it were 2 years so we could build up anticipation. But unfortunately, this race is every single year, which I'm not a fan of. I wish it were like the Ryder Cup, the World Cup, the Olympics, where we had a build up. But like I said, I've had that argument. I've beat that drum a lot. Jet Lawrence. Okay, I've already texted his agent, Lucas Myrtle, and said, put him on the 450. Put him on the 450 for Supercross. He's ready. He could easily be the best guy and win both championships, Supercross and Outdoor, next year. Jet is that good. It's not too early. He's 19. I did have to laugh during the broadcast when Jason Thomas said his personality was much younger and he'd rather be playing with toys in a sandbox than doing adult stuff. I'm like, wow. I love JT, and I think he's awesome, and I don't want to take away anything from him. That one was a little off on that. Like, Jet's probably – Jet's a good sport. He's probably going to laugh about it, but that was a bit much in my opinion. But hey, when you walk that line, sometimes you cross it, and JT is an awesome announcer. I'm so glad they brought him in for this. Him and Paul Malin have they have an epic chemistry. They're good. They're really good together. Jay Coop is my MVP of this entire entire race. Justin Cooper, with all the shit, he was made out to be the GOAT, or like I say GOAT in a bad way, made out to be the turd on this, and he wasn't. He was the MVP. He is my MVP, period. Justin Cooper, that whole bad season, broken foot, who cares? Who fucking cares? You won the designations. 11-year drought over. Thank you, Justin Cooper. Thank you, Chase Sexton. I know he rode tense. He was so nervous. He just didn't want to throw it away. And I'm sure he heard everyone saying, oh, he's going to throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. Nah. Chase, and especially after yesterday, throwing away that last moto win in the open qualifying, it was in his head. But Eli Tomac, I mean, everybody had each other's back this year. It was awesome. And props to the Redbud track for keeping it clean. They kept it smooth. They kept it good conditions. It wasn't a shit mud bath. It was a real race where we saw the best team win. So who was your guys' MVP? And you got any questions? If not, I'm going to head out. But what a great race, and I am so happy. What do we call Tomac now for winning everything? Legend, badass. I don't think he's GOAT, greatest of all time, but he's in the conversation. I mean, you could say it, because you could say it's a different generation. There's more guys that compete than there's more. It's a more competitive atmosphere than when Carmichael was around. Yeah, I would like to see the Jet and Tomac race, and I also want to see a Jet and Tomac race in Supercross next year. And yeah, hey, 805 Vaughn, Red Bull Imagination. Yes, I'm gonna watch that. That's insane. What those guys are doing scares the shit out of me, and I'm glad to see some of the guys doing interviews today at the Destinations. I saw Axel Hodges, because as far and high as they're jumping, I genuinely am scared for their lives. I'm worried that we're going to get a call that we lost one of them at this Red Bull Imagination, because it's insane. It's literally fucking insane. Greg, thank you for checking in, man. You're the man. Anyway, I'm gonna split two, guys. So all I have to say is America. God bless America. Boom. That was so fun. I'm out.